Hey everybody, welcome back to the Modern Stacker, and today we're going to be looking at purchasing precious metals online and just talking about some of the different payment options that are available and some of the things that you may want to be taking note of as you kind of go through this. So I've set up a dummy account over on AppMax, and we're going to take a look at that here in a minute. In the meantime, for just to kind of kick this video off, we're just looking at the price of silver as of the recording of this video. It is December 12th, 2022, and you can see things are kind of moving in an upward trend. We're starting to tick a little down here now, but as we can see, there's a little bit of trend there. It's kind of fun to see. So moving on to AppMax. So this is what I wanted to show you because I kind of ran into this the other day, and I don't know, it kind of has my spidey senses tingling. So I wanted to share this with you as you look into purchasing your stuff online. If you're interested in purchasing precious metals online versus say from a local coin shop, honestly, I like to do both. We have a really good local coin shop in our area, and I like to go there midweek when crowds are low and just kind of find some good stuff to pick up. But their selection isn't as prevalent as maybe you find online. Like you're almost never going to find any Chinese coins or any kangaroos or kookaburras at the LCS. I mean, you're just not going to find that kind of stuff. Plus, one of the advantages of using an online dealer is that you go to their deals page and you can get stuff often for just a little bit above spot that you might, again, you may not be able to find at your LCS. This was one in particular that I was really interested in looking at. If you watch my silver bars video, this was we were just talking about this. We were talking about getting stacking in ounces, and I got another video I'll be talking about why I think stacking bars are actually kind of a smart idea. Again, not a financial advisor, just a dude on YouTube sharing some thoughts. So, but what I wanted to share about here on this video was a pitfall that I ran into. Again, a little pro tip as you kind of run into purchasing stuff, always make sure the price is right. I ran into a bug on AppMax. It looks like they fixed it, but where the price kept resetting. I'm not sure what was going on there, but it seems like that's been taken care of. But let's run into this. So this is not me, by the way. I just threw this address in there. Obviously, I'm not John Denver. Great music, but not me. But let's go ahead and plug that address in here just so we can get into the next step. This is what I wanted to look at. So when you select a method online, right? You can use PayPal, you can credit card, bank wire, ACH, paper check, cryptocurrency. In some cases, IRA, you usually have to call and have that set up. Let's talk about this for a second. So with credit card and I believe even PayPal, there's additional fees that get applied to your purchase. In fact, I think the fees are already baked in. If you do ACH or e-check, there's typically a discount that gets applied because this payment qualifies for a cash discount. And the reason they're giving you that cash discount is because you're basically bypassing the electronic payment systems that take a fee, and you're going straight to your bank account. So this for many is a good savings opportunity that you can look into. And so if you're making purchases online and you want to save a few bucks, this can be a good way to do it. However, there is a pitfall, and we will talk about this here in a second. Well, let's go ahead and talk about it. So if I were to click verify your bank account, okay, AppMax uses Plaid to connect your account. Now, if you don't know anything about Plaid, let's talk about that. So Plaid is a service. It is a digital service that is used to connect. Is basically it's the middleware that connects all of these electronic services. It provides automated programmatic interface, API. I forget why am I blanking what an API stands for? It's API. You look up what it stands for, but it's the interface that talks between these institutions, and so that it gives developers documentations that they can, say data client name, data form ID, and if it were really just this minimal, this lightweight, this would really be nothing. The problem is the terms of service are actually quite aggressive, quite extensive, and it doesn't really matter which banking institution you go with, whether it's Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Citibank, you name, pick your institution. Um, the features that many of these services take out, or rather require to give access to AppMax, and it's not AppMax, is give access to Plaid to relay to AppMax, is quite intrusive. And that's something that I want to caution you strongly about, in that one of the kind of the key features, or one of the key concepts of stacking within the stacking community, is privacy. And it's like when you're purchasing, gold and silver online, you forfeit some of your privacy when you make these purchases. And so, but how much privacy you forfeit is up to you. And so when you pay by credit card, yeah, you pay a little bit more premium. I mean, that's what you can call the extra, fees you're paying is more premium. But what you get is a little bit more privacy, in the sense that only your credit card and your banking institution and AppMax ever really kind of get to know the whole picture of what's going on. If you do an ACH where you're not using Plaid, where you actually just like punch in your numbers, which AppMax doesn't support, but I do know that SD Bullion supports that. You're only giving the online coin dealer, or the online bullion dealer, and your banking account the information. So there now you only have two parties that are actually receiving your information. If you do things like paper check, well, you'll be teased for being a grandma, or grandpa or whatever. But that's not something you see very often anymore these days. Paper check, cryptocurrency, you might, if you have anything left from the FTX scandal, then you can use that. But typically speaking, again, all jokes aside, my point is, how much information, how much credibility are you exposing when you're making these purchases online? Is that something you have to take into consideration? And I highly encourage you to look into the story of Plaid. There's a lot of conversation online about what's going on behind the scenes and how Plaid is being used. It's an interesting service. It's very powerful. It's very effective. Truebill, which is now Rocket Money, I believe, uses this very effectively as a service for making your finances more transparent to you, but at a cost. Your finances are fully transparent, and there's a record, and Plaid has kind of a full history around it. Now, obviously, there are constraints around what it can and can't do, but it's just something to be aware of, especially as we move forward into this digital age. So anyway, I wanted to share that with you as you kind of go through this. This is just something to be aware of. I typically, personally, in situations like this where I can't plug in my personal bank routing information directly, I typically will just go credit card. Just because it's a simpler, even though it's an additional premium, it's simpler for me. It gets it done. It crosses. It's fewer parties that have insight into it. I don't trust PayPal as much as I trust my credit card. Believe it or not, it's a strange thing to say. I mean, like, really, do we really trust Visa or MasterCard or Discover? I don't know, but do I trust any of them? No, not as much as I trust gold and silver. So I think that's what it really boils down to at the end of the day. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing this. So anyway, let me know in the comments below what you think about all of this, and I mean, what are the methods that you use? I mean, share your thoughts with the community. It's helpful for us to kind of see and learn from you as well. So share your thoughts, and don't forget to like this video on the way out. But meantime, appreciate you watching, and hope you have a great rest of your day. Keep on stacking. Cheers.